What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I wanted to jump in and do a quick preview of the new faction weapons coming inside of Season 2 with the Curse of Osiris, as well as some of the new vanity items, the armor ornaments for the factions, new shaders, ships, and even Sparrows. And this makes complete sense of course, because the faction rally begins for December next week on the 12th. So I'm going to start out by taking a look at the perks for the featured weapons coming in the faction rally. These are the ones that we'll be able to purchase for the winning faction next week. So these are all auto rifles. From FWC we have the Doubt. This is a 600 rate of fire auto rifle, but of course its adaptive frame, well rounded, reliable and sturdy. We've got Hitmark IS as well as Red Dot 2 MOA and Rifle Scope SSF. Up next, Tactical Mag for multiple tactical improvements, including increased stability, reload speed, and slightly increased mag size. We also have high caliber rounds, which is pretty nice, and then we've got Snapshot sights. So on the whole, a weapon in this particular archetype with high caliber rounds, Snapshot, has some potential to be pretty decent, especially in PvP. We also have Dead Orbit's featured weapon, the Hollowed Earth Auto Rifle. This is 720 rounds per minute, because of course it is a Viced weapon, so that's rapid fire frame. We've got Arrowhead Break, as well as Hammer Forged Rifling and Polygonal Rifling, Ricochet rounds, or steady rounds in the middle column, and finally Zen Moment. So for this class of weapon, the option of Ricochet rounds increases stability, slightly increases range, and the rounds of course ricochet off hard surfaces, or steady rounds optimized for recoil control, increasing stability and reducing that range. Definitely give you some good options, especially paired with Zen Moment. Zen Moment is going to be a relatively decent bonus on a weapon that fires this quickly. The final weapon offering though will be for new Monarchy, and this is the Loquitur 4. This is a 360 round per minute auto rifle. So just like both of the new Monarchy scout rifles, it is high impact frame. In the sights we have GA post, SD thermal, or LC ranged. We've got ricochet rounds, or a pendant magazine built for higher capacity which increases mag size, alloy magazine for faster reloads when the mag is empty, and finally high impact reserves. Rounds at the end of the mag deal more damage. So some pretty interesting bonuses for this weapon right there. Having high impact reserves is going to be really interesting on a weapon of this impact class. Of course this thing does a lot of damage, and I don't think we've seen a weapon in this archetype with high impact reserves, so I'm very curious to see just how potent they could be, especially in things like PvP. This thing could potentially absolutely melt. Another interesting thing to point out is the range stat of 78 points right there, which is pretty crazy. So those are the three featured weapons that we'll have in the December faction rally, but of course there are a whole bunch of new weapons for each faction as well. So we have the Deicide. This is the FWC shotgun, 100 rounds per minute, so it is the same as Hawthorne's Field Forge shotgun, and that puts it in the rapid fire frame class. We have full choke though, fluted barrel, or small bore. In the middle column we have the option of steady rounds, or flared magwell, and then finally we have moving target, increased movement speed and target acquisition when moving while aiming down sights. The steady rounds has the potential to be fairly decent actually, because of course this thing fires very quickly and is full auto, so controlling that recoil can be a little bit beneficial, although of course that will knock off your range. You also have the option of much faster reloads, which is pretty good, but then moving target is a pretty strange bonus for a shotgun. It's not something that I'd kind of consider throwing onto a shotgun, bonus target acquisition, but we'll see how it turns out. Also from FWC we have the Dream, which is the new legendary scout rifle, 150 rounds per minute, so it does fit into high impact frame once again. We've got Red Dot 2 MOA as well as Red Dot Micro, and finally Rifle Scope ST. Middle column options are armor piercing rounds or extended mag, and then finally we have Snapshot sights. The high impact frame archetype for scout rifles generally just doesn't do that well. Most people prefer the precision frame archetype, which is all around generally more reliable and flexible, so the archetype isn't the best, and then having things like Snapshot I don't feel like is that exciting on this class. To me this is one of the less interesting weapons, but again we'll see how good it is. FWC's hand cannon the Defiant is a 150 round per minute weapon, and you can see they've used the Amelon model for this. It is in the lightweight frame archetype, so its max rate of fire. We've got True Sight HCS as well as Fast Draw HCS and Sure Shot. In the middle column, accurized rounds, which increases range, drop mag, and finally Threat Detector. Threat Detector increases reload stability and handling speeds when enemies are in close proximity, and the option for faster reloads or increased range, are both pretty decent, but again I don't feel like these perks are particularly exciting. The final FWC weapon would be the Domino. This is their sniper rifle. It's a 90 round per minute class of weapon. In the sights we've got the Rect telescopic lens as well as the 50 Val telescopic. We have alloy magazine for faster reloads when the mag is empty. or flared magwell, so 2 options for faster reloading, which is pretty interesting. And the final bonus is pulse monitor. Auto reloads are part of the magazine when the wielder is critically wounded. So it's interesting that it does have those 2 reload options. Pulse monitor isn't something I've ever used on a sniper rifle before. I guess it could have its moments, but I don't feel like it's, absolutely fantastic or anything. For Dead Orbit though, we have the addition of the Dead Ender, which is the first faction linear fusion rifle. And again, of course, we have the new weapon visuals here, but it is precision frame, so 790 is the charge time on this weapon. We've got chambered compensator, extended barrel, and small bore. In the middle column, particle repeater or projection fuse, and then finally outlaw, precision kills greatly increased reload speed. So outlaw is going to be a pretty interesting bonus on a weapon like this. I would really love to see some of these linear fusion rifles with, bonuses like triple tap or a similar bonus. I think they'd be much more interesting weapons if they tuned them as kind of boss DPS weapons in particular, but still this one is going to be pretty interesting. We also have the distant tumulus or tumulus, I don't know how you say that one, the new viced sniper rifle for Dead Orbit. So this is rapid fire frame, deeper ammo reserves, and fast reload. We've got small bore, arrowhead break or extended barrel. In the middle column, extended magazine or flared magwell, and then finally pulse monitor once again. So pretty similar bonuses on the whole to the future Warcourt sniper that we saw. And then we have the Eternal Slumber, the new Dead Orbit pulse rifle, 360 rounds per minute, so it's an adaptive frame class of weapon. We've got IS-5 circle, Model 6 loop or Mark 15 lens. In the middle column, alloy magazine, steady rounds, and then finally we have under pressure, so that's improved stability and accuracy as the magazine gets lower. 360 round per minute pulse rifles haven't been kind of the best in the game, but steady rounds is going to be pretty nice actually. A lot of them don't have very good stability, and this one has a high stability stat of 64, and then you pair that with steady rounds and under pressure, and it has the potential to be probably one of the best in this particular class of weapon, so it'll be interesting to see if it stands out a little more. Finally, from New Monarchy though, we have the Legal Action 2, which is the new pulse rifle. This is 320 rounds per minute, so it's the absolute lowest rate of fire class. It has GB iron in the sights though, SC hollow or LD watchdog. We have accurized rounds to fire longer distances, high caliber rounds, which is interesting, and then rampage, kills with the weapon temporarily grant increased damage, which stacks 3 times. Once again, this class of weapon hasn't typically been the most popular. Perhaps that's Bungie's angle here to add, some slightly interesting bonuses to weapons that have previously not done super well. I mean, high caliber rounds is going to help it perform that little bit better and stagger enemies, consider it fires slower. And then rampage I think could be a pretty interesting bonus as well, because of course this is a high impact weapon, so you could definitely be doing quite a bit of damage potentially. New Monarchy finally gets a new model of scout rifle though, so we have the Adverse Possession 9, and this is a 180 round per minute archetype of scout, so it's pretty much the most popular archetype. So it's precision frame of course, we have SLO post, SPO front, and then SRO 52 ocular, flared magwell or steady rounds, and finally moving target. So nothing particularly flashy about this weapon, but you've got options for quick reloads, higher stability, as well as moving target, which is actually potentially going to be pretty good as a PvP scout rifle. Nothing flashy, but probably a pretty solid weapon. Next we have the Quitclaim Shotgun 3, which is a pretty interesting name. 45 rounds per minute and 80 impact, so it does pack some punch. That makes it aggressive frame with rifle barrel, smooth bore, or fluted barrel. We've got flared magwell for fast reloads. Assault mag, the shotgun's magazine is optimized for quick combat, which increases stability and the rate of fire. And then we have field prep, increased ammo reserves, and faster reload when crouched. So this could make for a decent high impact shotgun for Crucible in particular. But then we have the Interference 6. It had to be done, didn't it? A new grenade launcher for New Monarchy, 120 rounds per minute, so it's adaptive frame. We've got volatile launch, smart drift control, and hard launch right there. In the middle column we have alloy casing for faster reloads. We've got implosion rounds, the weapon's projectiles travel faster and have a controlled explosion, and finally field prep. But to be honest, I use grenade launchers so infrequently that I couldn't even tell you, if this is a good grenade launcher as far as grenade launchers go. There are some grenade launcher fanatics out there, so if you're one of them, let us know in the comment section whether this thing looks any good. I'm really digging the aesthetic of the New Monarchy weapons though, they look pretty awesome. In addition to the faction weapons themselves, there is an additional weapon which you can actually earn by pledging to all of the factions, which is pretty interesting. It's called the Peace by Consensus. It's a sidearm, it's precision frame, we've got short spec SAS as well as quick dot and farpoint SAS. We have appended mag or drop mag, and finally hip fire grip. And you can see on the inventory screen that it says pledged to each faction to earn this weapon. On top of this though, we do have some new faction items for each faction. So there's new shaders, we have the Dead Orbit Resurrection, looks very, very Dead Orbity right there. We have Dead Orbit's Deep Space Shell right there, which is pretty cool, and these can roll with random perks. We also have the Distant Pulsar Ship for Dead Orbit, and finally the Pale Horse Sparrow. It's nice that they've actually added some vehicles to other places than, you know, Eververse. And then of course this is only for the Titan, but you can see on the side right there the new faction armor ornaments. Over at FWC, again, we have new armor ornaments, and they had the nerve to put the word endgame in a shader title right there, but that is the new FWC shader. We have FWC's Ghost Shell, The Wars to Come, and the new Bone Grip Ship, which is pretty cool, and then finally the Truth Scraper Sparrow. Of course, New Monarchy also have their new armor ornaments, which look absolutely insane right there, and of course the new shader, the New Monarchy Succession, but we have New Monarchy's Ghost Shell, which is pretty cool with the kind of lion ornament, and then the Leonin Carrack Ship, which is pretty cool, and finally the Sparrow, the Leonin Corsair. So there we go guys, maybe a bit of a long video right there, but those are all of the new faction weapons for Season 2, as well as the armor ornaments, shaders, ships, sparrows, and even ghosts. So I hope you have enjoyed this preview of all of the new faction stuff guys. Let me know your thoughts on any of it in the comment section. If you have enjoyed the video, a like is very much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe if you want to see more Destiny 2 content going forward. For now though, I hope you guys have an awesome day.